From my perspective, we live in a culture that constantly attempts to find ways to dismiss and to take the credibility out of what Black people do and question what Black people do. And I say that because I almost never talk about SGL and my relationship to it because I don't want it to be about me. Just like the term gay, for example, it's not questioned and it's not copywritten. It's something that white homosexuals came up with for homosexuals to call themselves as they built their movement, and it's not questioned. Gay does create thoughts of white people loving themselves and white male love and caring about each other because that's who created it and that's where it came from. But it doesn't have the same impact on us. And given what we're going through and some of the casualties that occur resulting from us questioning our worth and our value, we need something that talks about love in a very explicit way. Well, from my perspective, since you brought it up, giving me props or giving SGL props, they wouldn't even be calling themselves LGBT. They maybe call themselves SGLBT because lesbian, Greek, gay, white, all that stuff, it doesn't affirm us as Black people, and we need to be affirmed and restored. That's just a fact. So to affirm SGL and its creator, whoever that is, I don't think there's any such thing as a Black LGBT. We SGL, bisexual, or transgender. When did I become aware of being a same-gender loving man? I've always known. So there was no powerful epiphany. There was just an acceptance and realization at a very young age. And acceptance is the wrong word because I never resisted it. So I didn't go through an acceptance stage. I went through an awareness stage. And one of the things I always tell people that they should consider, instead of so-called coming out, they should consider coming into self-knowing, self-recognition. I think that the white gay community advises homosexuals in America to quote-unquote come out as gay. That allegedly is the magic bullet to something, some kind of liberation. In our community, that's not necessarily the case. We have a more dimensional journey toward self-love as Black people and self-love as same-gender loving people. And I think people need to come into self-awareness, self-love, self-knowing, self-affinity, and that will take everything else. Coming out usually means I'm out in front of you now, you can accept me. I don't think we need anybody else's acceptance. I think we need to come into self-love and self-knowing, and everything else will fall into place. I'm a living witness. I don't come out to nobody, but I may casually mention that I am a same-gender loving person if it makes sense in the midst of a discussion, but I'm not trying to make anybody like me or know me or approve of me. That's extremely irrelevant to me. We need to be educating each other. And I certainly don't want people to think that I'm what they tend to think of when they think of gay, a Black man chasing a white man or running around West Hollywood or in some type of traditional white gay context. I invite the question, but frankly, many of them understand what it means. What they tend to say is, do you mean homosexual? Is that what you mean by that? And I'll say yes. So same-gender loving doesn't confuse that many people. Now, what they do sometimes say is, well, why don't you just say gay? And I say, well, it's probably for the same reason why some people don't just say Negro or don't just say colored, because you don't see yourself as those things, and those particular labels came from somebody else. SGL came from us. So I really live my life in ways that affirm me as a Black man as opposed to any other way.